guys, welcome back to the channel. If you've just watched part one of the video, that was building the Focke Wulf. This is part two, covering the Focke Wulf. So she's ready to cover. I've got some lovely brown tissue. Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched part one, go back and have a look. Anyway, if you want to watch part two, you're welcome to. I've got some lovely brown tissue I'm going to cover it with, and then I've got some darker brown. I'm going to try and make some camouflage over the top. I won't be doping it. I won't be pre-shrinking the tissue, so I don't think it's going to shrink that much. I'm just going to shrink it with water and, well, water really. So I'm going to start with the fuselage. And I've determined the grain direction of the tissue by tearing it. I think it's lengthwise, so I shall put it on the fuselage lengthwise. And I'm going to put it on damp. I've never done damp before, but I watched the video and it looked quite easy. So let's have a go and see what sort of mess I can make of it. Don't forget, just have a go at things, and if you mess it up, you just strip it off and have another go. It's not the end of the world. So I'll angle you down and start cutting the tissue, and I'm going to use Pritt to stick the tissue on like I did before on the Spitfire. Check that video out if you haven't watched it. And yeah, really looking forward to it. So the sun's shining, so let's crack on. If you haven't subscribed already, tap the little subscribe icon at the bottom, and then you'll see the attempts at trying to get this little baby to fly. You might miss it otherwise, but hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Oh, and give us a comment. I always like to see what people think of my videos. Right guys, I'll just angle you down. That's not too bad, guys. I'm going to let that set now. It won't take long to dry. It's 24 degrees in here. The only thing is with the flying surfaces, I've got to wave them down. Of course. But did I just blunder on that? I thought I said the grain was going lengthwise. I've got to put it on widthwise on the fuselage. See, mistakes are easily made when you're having fun. So let's see if I can get it right on the tail plane. Just do the edge, don't do the inner structure. So I'm just going to lay this on. Stretching it out its length. Width, center section, obviously this will warp, but I'll just let that dry. Put a little weight on it. Little weight. Let's have a look at the fuselage and see how we're doing. How are we doing? It's dry. Let's just put snips in there. Didn't need the snips in there to help it go around because it went around pretty easy. looking pretty good, guys. Pretty good. Right then, guys, one side done. It's great, isn't it, when you can turn a skeleton from that side into a solid looking aeroplane that side. I'm going to put the tissue lengthwise. This should be the grains going lengthwise in the tissue, so it would be interesting to see how both sides differ as an experiment. Tissue spray. Okay. Are you enjoying it so far? Rubbish. Guys, let that dry a minute, come back to that in a minute. So look at the tail plate, see how we're doing. Just trim and set this off, get the other side on. Okay. Back to the fuselage, guys. See what's going on there. Okay, we'll let that dry thoroughly, and then I can do the edges with PVA white glue. The worst bit is just around the top. I'm not happy with that, but we'll see how it comes out with the stretching. So say I can always put a bit of camouflage over the top. Not too bad, guys. 2 bits of tissue. Quite like the wet tissue technique. It seems to work quite well. For this part of the video, I'm going to cover one part of the wing. Each part has to be dried, so I'm going to have to pin down each section, let it dry. It won't take long, but it's going to be done in 4 stages: 2 bottoms, 2 tops. Back edge. very careful to hold the structure, supporting the structure just where it can be supported. Okay, let's get this tissue dampened off again. Just a little bit there, down there. Just sort of tacking it as I go down, tacking it on where it touches. Once it's down, you can't stretch it because you'll just tear the tissue. Why it's quite important to get it to go down and get it stretched pretty much straight away. Right, the wing is going to warp now, guys, so it's important I get it weighted down and in the middle there. Okay, I think it's dry, so let's have a look at it. Oh yeah, a little bit of crinkling at the tip there. Perhaps I should have stuck it on the balsa complete, but overall it's gone down pretty well. This one I'm going to cut flush, the main part of it, because it's got to stick to the back of one of the formers. Some little darts around the corner. If it's attached to the inside of that rib as well. Just trying to pull it out just enough. Doesn't have to be massively pulled out. Just enough. Little delicate touches, but pushing my luck now because I'm pulling it on a piece of wet tissue. That's could tear very easily at this stage, so I'm going to stop there and I'm just going to let that dry. Just glued the wing on, and well, here it is. This is it. Given it one coat of a very light spray of clear lacquer matte, and I've just glued the wing on, and the next job is to glue in the tailplane, which is just pressed in for the minute. And I've made a bit of a boo-boo, chaps. I've put the peg retaining balsa block thing. I put it there instead of there. Means I'll have a longer motor, but it's going to be a little bit harder to get the band onto the peg back there. I may have to file it forward slightly. But obviously a longer band will give me a bit more rearward CG as well. Yeah, 16th under 8.5. Okay, you've seen these before. These slide on there like that. Might look like I'm putting a lot on, but I'm really not. It's just a small amount. Basically that's it there, straight in there. Beautiful. Just got to bring it around here a little bit more. It's bulging up just where my thumb is now, this thumb. So I want to get that down to there. I put a little bit of CA in. It's holding though. Gotta say, look at that. That's the side I'm working on. It's the side that I've just put a little bit of white glue just around there just to fill a gap. Okay guys, I think that just about finishes that. Doesn't fit too bad. I'm quite happy with that. Next job is to put some camouflage on. happy days. I'm just going to put on some of this brown tissue and I'm just rubbing it through the, this is a very weak mixture of white glue and water. Just rubbing it through the tissue. Hopefully it's going to stretch all out beautifully. I think when that's dry and taut, that's going to look okay. It's the first bit on. Let's do a little bit more. That's not how to do it. Do it while it's dry. Cut it off while it's dry and then go back and damp it. So you can see the side's dried out nicely now. It's tightened out again. It'd be nice to try and do it in one piece, wouldn't it? Because let's have a join on the top. Okay guys, there we go. That'll do for tonight. I'll let that dry out and tomorrow I'll give it a coat of clear lacquer and I can sit the cockpit on and get the tail wheel finished and on. The fairings have come out quite well. Yeah, it's looking very fighter plane like, isn't it? Good, there we are. Okay, that's it. That completes the build. I've got this weighed her. She is rather heavy, I'm afraid. I had to add 7 grams of weight in the nose, which is surprising really, considering how much I lightened the tail end. But there you go, it happens. I've fitted 3 loops of 1/16 rubber and the 6-inch prop. So she's ready for her test flights. That will be in the next video. As soon as this wind and rain stops, as usual, we shall be out there. I know I've got a couple of weeks yet to compete and complete. So it's going to be fun, but I don't imagine I'm going to get a huge amount of flight time with that much weight on board, but we'll see. You never know your luck. Might catch a thermal. 6-minute flight, wow. On 300 winds I'm getting about 12-13 seconds of usable rubber, so we'll see how it goes. I'm quite pleased with the finished look of it. It's come out quite nicely. No dope, just matte lacquer. Anyway, see you in the next video. Hit the like button below, hit the subscribe button as well if you're not a subscriber, and then you'll be sure of seeing my attempts at getting this thing in the air and trimming it out and hopefully getting 20 seconds of flight. Okay guys, thanks for looking and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye.